he intrigued me greatly. I used to live in a city that was disgusting, full of crime and tramps and junkies and rubbish on the streets. I lived in an apartment that was fucking tiny. And that was always a mess, you know. Try and keep up with it, but it's just so hard. But now I'm here. I don't know if it's better. Planes and cars and lots of people zooming past. But it's cleaner. Back there I worked 3 jobs. I was a taxi driver. I worked in a corner shop. And I worked in an old retirement home. They were all fucking terrible jobs. As a taxi driver, you just pick up people that were arseholes, that were drunk. In a corner shop, you get people who would just steal from you constantly. And in the retirement home, it just fucking stank of death. It's a horrible place to live. But there was one thing that I wish this place had, with all its cars and all its fast-pacing lives. I wish it had him. Across the hall from my apartment was a man who lived there, and he was always clean, always nice, always polite. Every door in the apartment block looked fucking disgusting, but his was bright green and it had a golden handle and had a mat that said welcome. No other door had that. Not even. Mine certainly fucking didn't. And he had a plant outside his door that he watered every day. There wasn't enough sun getting in, it was just, you know, the light in the hallway. He took pride in his appearance, you know. He would never leave his house looking shite. One day, I came back from the retirement home. It was maybe about 6 o'clock at night, and I got out of the lift and I saw him. I can't explain why, but I was just sort of starstruck in a way. It was just so rare to see someone like him in the place that I lived. He was standing very still, watering his plants. Everything else was out of his mind, you know. He didn't care about anything else, apart from making sure that those plants were still alive. And you've got to respect that. You can't say you don't respect that. When I was walking to my door, he turned round and he saw me, and he gave such a lovely smile, just so nice and kind. I can't actually remember if I'd seen anything like it in that place. It was just him. He was the only thing there that didn't make me leave. And he said hello, and I said hello back. We talked about the weather, we talked about the news, and we talked about how important it is to have principles and be honest and do your best to be kind. But then the lift reached our floor, and he became frantic and told me to go inside my apartment. So I did, and I looked through the peephole, and suddenly he was stood there with this thug, this big guy very close to him. And the big guy said, next week. Next week? He said next week 2 weeks ago. And the old man said, I'll get you the money. I'll get you the money. I promise I'll get you the money. And then the thug beat him up, smashed his head against his door. It was green and red now. And then he got in the lift and left. The old man went back into his house. I went outside to see if, he'd finished watering the plants. And I walked over to them. Something didn't look right. So I felt the leaves. And they were plastic. They weren't even fucking real. He intrigued me greatly. Or at least he used to.